Hello good people, welcome back to my channel. We are continuing designing the items found in commercial kitchen, and specifically we chose this layout, we explained it, and we've already started the designing. If you have not watched the previous videos, please go ahead and watch them so that we may be at the same page. So we are now in the pastry area. In the pastry area, the items to be designed is this pastry table. There is a hand wash basin. Then there is the extraction wood. Extraction wood. Yeah, that is that. And there should be a rack, an oven, low boy or tall boy trolley. I cannot see it in my layout, but we shall see what to do. So without taking a lot of time, we go ahead and start the designing of the pastry table. Very simple drawing. We're going to be using weldments for the structure, then the granite, and right under there is a block board for sticking the granite, right? And the worktop is 1500 by 700 and has an height of 860. It is showing 840 because I didn't put the grommets, right? The grommets are, we said they are about 20-30 millimeter adjustment. So if you insert the grommets, the height will come to 860, right? So having said that, let us go ahead and open our Solidworks and start the designing. We will start with the structure, the weldment structure, then we will do the block board and the granite. There are some gaskets. I didn't show them in that PDF format. So go ahead, open your Solidworks, new drawing, part, click OK. Then you go to weldments and you start a 3D sketch. Your 3D sketch, line, tab, press tab so that it might be snapped to the correct direction. Tab again. Yeah, I don't want to get into some troubles. Tab. Then you close the sketch. This line and this line, make them parallel. Yeah, that is good. Then make the forelegs. Again, line. Another line here. Make all these lines equal. The legs should, all of them should be equal. Did I choose the correct line there? Something I didn't choose well. Yeah, make all of them equal. Then put the bracings. It's not a must you do tab there, just make it parallel to the upper one. Then select this line, and this line, and make it parallel. Make all of them parallel. Then there is the center bracing at the center, the midpoint there, to the other midpoint. Okay, then dimension. The granite, as you can see, the worktop, the overall dimension is 1500 by 700. So in the 1500, the granite will be having an overhang of 20 millimeter on this side and 20 millimeter on this side. So that should be 1500 minus 40, that is 1560. And again, since we are doing weldments and we are using a square tube of 40 by 40, and it runs at the center of the line, so we have to subtract 40 millimeter, 20 millimeter this side and 20 millimeter the other side. This also is 700 minus 40 minus 40. This is for the lazy people who don't want to do the math very fast. You can just do it like that. And this total height, the granite as a thickness of 20 millimeter. You take 20 millimeter and you want 20 millimeter there down from 860, that should be 840 minus 20 millimeter, the height of the square tube here. So 840 minus 20, 820, 820. Yeah, and your sketch is good. Sketch being good. Do we have any issues? We don't have any issues. Sketch is good, pretty much good. Then go to structural member. Structural member, we are going to use ISO. Choose ISO. Configuration profile, we need a square tube size, and I really don't like these sizes, because here we are having 40 by 40 by 4 millimeter thick. The thickness of this tube is 4 millimeter. I don't like that, right? The thickness of our structure should be 1.2. 1.22 is ideal. Then you go for new group. Okay, we will go ahead and do the structure, then we will edit this sketch. I realized I didn't put dimension from the bracing, from the lower part to the bracing. We will do that. So the first group is that, and that. Does this apply? No. Then another new group. This, and that. Then another new group. This and this. Then a new group. This and this. Then finally the bracing is our last group, and your structure is done. Right, go ahead and hide the 3D sketch. In fact, before we hide it, let us edit the sketch. The only thing that we are going to do here is to put dimension from there up to here. The ground clearance should be 200 millimeter. Same applies to this, from there to there. No. From this line to this line, 200. Yeah, we are good. So there goes our structure. Welding here, welding here, welding here. Yeah, welding and all that, right? Let us give it a smooth shading, and we save this is in your folder. We create a new folder here, and call it GR6. No, that is, it should be Pastry. In fact, even GR5 here, it should have been stored. Pastry area. How have we named it? Yeah, pastry preparation area, so we call it PP1. Save, new folder, we call it PP1. Yeah, just PP1 is okay. Then we go ahead and open, and we call it part number 1. What happened? I didn't even name it. Okay, it's still okay. Now let us create the gasset. The gassets are the ones which will be which the blockboard will be fastened through. Okay, so open new part, top plane, sketch, center rectangle, and create center line here, dimension it. Gasset, you can do whatever size you want. In my case, I will do 100 by 100, 100, and I'm going to create a hole somewhere here of dia 10 millimeter. For fastening the wood. Right now, this line and this line becomes construction lines, and then we extrude this by 2 millimeter. The gasset can be of 2 millimeter plate. That would be very much fine. That is okay. Let us edit. Let's create a new sketch on the top, and we create a line here which is parallel to this line, and this line should be parallel. That line and that edge should be parallel, right? Then from here you do a line. What's not happening here? Something is not right, which is still okay. Let us extend this line, then we trim the unwanted line. Is that okay? That is okay. This part and this part and the corner, can we make them coincident? Sure. Dimension it. This, give it 20 millimeter. What's going on here? Delete this line. Then I trim. Now, because this line is parallel to the other line, and this and these are equal, then this makes it also 20 millimeter. You can go ahead and check. Yeah, it is 20 millimeter. So feature, extrude and cut, and condition through all. gusset. Save it under PP part 2. Call it gusset plate. Now let us go back to our structure and get the dimensions. Evaluate. Told you this thing comes in handy. Between that face and that face, that is 580. By 1480. So new part. Okay. Top plane. Center rectangle sketch. 1480. You can do for 1475. 1475. Just give it an allowance. 1475 by 575. There you go. Extrude. The thickness of the wood would be 20 millimeter. Appearance. Architectural tile. Where is tile? Floor tile, ceramic tile. I don't seem to be having wood. Let me see. What are we going to use? Marble? No. There is no tile which is close to wood. About slate. What is slated? You can leave it at that. After all, nobody will be seeing it. Okay. So save it as part number 3. Blockboard. Then finally, our other part should be the granite top itself. So top, center rectangle, and this is 1500 by 700. Then you extrude it by 20 millimeter. 20, not 200. That's the thickness of the granite. Most granites are 20 millimeters thick. Granite. Yes. Save it. Go ahead and save it. Spot number 4. We call it granite top. That should be that. Now what we do is open new drawing and start our assembly. And the first part to bring is part number 7, which I did save it correctly. It was supposed to be the structure. Okay. The other part we are bringing in is the gusset, and we met it. This face, not that, not the edge. This face mates with this face. And this face click OK. This face mates with this face, click OK. Then here, because the blockboard should flush with the structure top, so this and this in the minus direction. Sure, that mate is good. Yeah, that mate is good. Now let us mirror it. How are we going to mirror it? Go to part number 7 and take the front plane and what was the distance here? 580? No, this was just 1 second. 1 second. I told you this thing comes in handy. If you have a poor memory like me, that is 660, so we need 330. We need a reference geometry at 330. Yeah, reference is the assembly reference geometry plane 330 in the opposite direction. Okay, then with that plane selected, you go to mirror components and mirror the gusset. Component to mirror is the gusset, right? What is not happening here? Why am I not seeing? Nope, won't work. See how it is aligning itself? Or maybe my dimensions, that thing didn't sit well. Something is amiss. We delete that mirror. You can't tell me I'm going to put all these gussets one by one. It's just the plane. Let us evaluate again. Evaluate, measure. Oh, I get it. I shouldn't even have deleted. It is 660. 660. But remember that plane was sitting at the center. So we should have our plane. This plane is the one that we are going to edit by not 330 but 310. 20 millimeter. If you can take a look at it, where is it passing? At the center of the tube, right? So it is 20 millimeter this side and 20 millimeter the other side. 20 millimeter this side, so that is okay. So we pick the plane again and mirror components. Component to mirror is this gusset. Still, what is not happening? No, we didn't edit 310. Why is it not working? Okay. Delete that plane, Kapisa. Sorry, let us delete the plane. It's giving us all sorts of problems for no reason. Then we go to the front plane again. Reference geometry plane. Or was it going in the opposite direction or something? I don't know. Flip side. That should, I'm hoping that this sorts it out. There. Yeah. So now that is okay. The gusset is sitting well. I don't know why we I hope you understand why we did extrude and cut this corner, right? It's an engineering principle. You can figure it out as you do your thing out there. So we need to do another right plane. Let us get this, should be 1470, 1460. From this face to this face, 1460. 1560, sorry. Why is it 1560? It is supposed to be 1460. Why is it? From there to there, 1460. It is reading 1560, but ideally it is supposed to be 1460. So let's go back and edit the sketch, the 3D sketch. Yeah, this would mean that our 1420. This would mean that our worktop becomes 1600 instead of 1500. Okay, so sorry for that typo. Assembly, yes. So it's 1460 divided by 2, 730 minus 20, 710. So we need to make a plane, a right plane, a reference geometry, assemblies, reference geometry, plane, 710, 710. Then we mirror components. We are mirroring the gusset. It's in this. They are pretty. That is nice, right? So we insert component, block board, and the block board, we mate it. The bottom of the block board rests on the gusset. Okay, and since we gave it some allowance, let us do width. With relationship between that face and that face should be in between this face and this face. But you know, this is just a drawing. When you are doing the fabrication, some of these things, they just bring themselves. Then again, width between this face and this face, then this face, and this face. Why is this thing? Okay, we open it and check the sketch. What is the sketch? 1475. Why are we having because we had done 1560 instead, so this should be 1375. The beauty of Solidworks, if we were working with AutoCAD, my friend, we would have gone back to do everything. Yeah, the allowance is there. Now, your board, those holes come in handy. Fasten your board there, but again, you don't want your bolt or whatever means you're using to fasten, protrude, and interfere with the granite. And the granite, you stick it with adhesive to this board, right? To the board, use adhesive. And again, also this acts as a backing. Okay, so insert component, granite top. Granite top, we met the bottom of it, of course, to the top of the block board. then the granite top, the front of it, and the block boards front. Click OK. Then the right plane of the block board meets with the right plane of the granite top. And our worktop is done. Right? It is done. Thank you so much for watching. Let's meet in our next tutorial, and we shall be fabricating, I think it's the hand wash basin. Yeah, the hand wash basin. Then we will do the extraction wood. Okay, thanks for your time.